All right, welcome back to my channel, Big Duke 13. Remember, if you're not laughing, you're not living. I just want to thank everybody that tuned in and looked at my riddles. I gotta admit, I did mess up on one riddle, the quarter and the nickel. That, you know, that's equal 30 cents. But somebody gave me that version with a quarter and a dime, and it was stuck in my head, and I kept saying quarter and a nickel equals 35 cents. So y'all already know, y'all know how it be. But anyway, I got something special for y'all today. I'm giving you a story called The Princess and the Peasant. And what this story is doing is going to show you the difference between thinking, regular thinking, and thinking outside the box. I tell people all the time, a lot of times in life, we struggle and go through things, and people keep going through the same thing because they keep thinking the same. Until you start thinking outside the box, you can never overcome a lot of things in your life. So instead of thinking that, I like to call it regular thinking. People feel like, oh, everybody thinks like this. Stop thinking like everybody, or you're going to keep getting what everybody get. Start thinking outside the box, and this story is going to give you the perfect example of thinking outside the box. But what I want you to do when I tell you this story, I'm going to let you know when you can pause the video, and I want you to tell me what you would do in this situation so you can understand the difference between regular thinking and thinking outside the box. Here's the story. So you had this kingdom that was built on top of a hill, had a king, a queen, and a princess. Now the princess, she liked to go down the hill and go down there where the peasants live. Peasants is considered poor people, have no money. So they live down at the bottom of the hill. So the princess, she always went down there, gave them food. She played with the kids, and she ended up meeting this guy that she started liking. She came down there every day and met with this guy until she started falling in love with this guy. Now one day the king had this big old party in the kingdom, and all around the world, all the people came. Other kings, princes, all that came to the kingdom to attend the party. Now the princess, she decided one day that she was going to take the guy that she fell in love, this peasant, and introduce him to her mom and dad, the king and the queen. He was scared. He was like, nah, you know, we're not supposed to be up in the kingdom. She said, I'm the princess. I love you. I'm going to marry you. We're going up to the day. We're going up to today so I can introduce you to my dad. So she took the peasant up there and walked him right in front of the dad. Everybody stopped talking, watching this dirty, filthy dude holding the hand of a princess. So she walked in front of dad. She said, Dad, I want to introduce you to the guy that I'm going to marry. Dad was like, well, you know, we already have a bunch of suitors ready for you. You know what I'm saying? When it's time for you to get married. She was like, no, this is who I'm going to marry right here, Dad. I feel like this is my fate. Like God has ordained this. That's why I met him. He was like, baby, this is a peasant. She's like, I know, Dad, but I love him. So the dad said, so you say this is fate? She said, yes. He said, okay, I'll tell you what. The festival that we will have next weekend, we're going to have a little game to see if this is fate. I'm going to get a bag, and I'm going to get 2 pieces of paper. I'm going to put a check on one piece, and I'm going to put an X on the other. I'm going to put both of them in the bag. I'm going to shake it up, and I want him, the peasant, to stick his hand in there and pull out a piece of paper. If he pull out the check, he can get half the kingdom and he get to marry you. But if he pull out an X, he's banished away from the kingdom, away from the down where he stayed. He can't be nowhere around here anymore. The peasant guy, he was kind of hesitant. He was like, man, I don't know. She was like, I'm telling you, please just do it. I know this is meant to be. All the people quiet, they just listening. So he said, okay, I'll do it. So later on that night, as the king and the queen was in the room, they was talking. Now the peasant guy, he had a friend that worked inside the kingdom, and he always delivered the queen and king the late night tea right before they went to bed. So as he was walking towards the door, he got to the bedroom door, and he heard the king talking. And the king said, I'm not letting that peasant marry my daughter. You think I'm going to put a check and an X in the bag for real? I'm putting 2 X's in there to make sure he don't marry my daughter, and then he get banished from around this place forever. The queen was like, well, I don't know. I don't have anything to do with that. That's up to you. But you told the people you was putting the check and the X in there. They're going to be expecting it. He was like, yeah, and I'm the king. My word is my word. They know, but the people know I won't lie to them. But this time, I'm putting 2 X's in the bag. I don't care what it say. So the guy, you know, he waited for a minute, went in there, delivered the tea, and left. He ran back down to his friend. He told him what was happening. He said, man, the king's going to put 2 X's in there. He's not going to play fair, man. The peasant said, oh, my God. He said, you think I should go tell the princess? He said, so she can go and confront her dad? And then her dad said that you're lying and have our heads chopped off? He was like, oh, my God. I just tell the people I just screaming in front of everybody. He said, no, man. You cannot disrespect the king. You cannot embarrass the king in any way, man. You're going to have you killed, man. He said, what am I going to do? He said, I don't know. So that day came in front of everybody. Big old festival. Everybody's there waiting, cheering. The king brought the bag out, set it up there. The peasant came up. They patted him down, checked him, made sure everything was up to par. He stuck his hand in the bag, played the game, and he won. Got half the kingdom and got to marry the princess. Now you can pause the video right here because I'm about to give you the answer. But for all the people who want to think how he did this and how you would have did it, I want to see everybody who can get this. So he played the game and still won. How did he do it? I'm going to knock some of the answers out the way. No, the queen didn't help. No, he didn't have no paper in his hand. They checked him before he came up there. No, the daughter didn't know anything. His friend didn't help. Think outside the box. I want y'all to think outside the box. So pause the video now if you don't want to know the answer, because I'm going to give you the answer. So pause the video and y'all tell me your answer. So anyway, he came up to play the game. Now the peasant knows that the king put 2 X's in the bag. So when he got up there, everybody's cheering, screaming, ready for him to play the game to see if fate has decided that it's meant for him to marry the princess. So they give him the bag. The peasant sticks his hand in the bag. He pulls out a piece of paper, puts it in his mouth, chews it up, and swallows it, throw both hands in the air. Everybody went crazy, clapping, cheering. The king just dropped his head. You know why? Because all the people that heard that day, the king said he's going to put a check and an X in the bag. So that's what the people believe that's in the bag. But the king put 2 X's. The peasant knew that, so he reached in and grabbed one of the papers without nobody seeing, stuck it in his mouth and swallowed it. So now when the people want to know what's left in the bag, it's one of the X's. So they assume that he swallowed the check. Y'all keep thinking outside the box, man. Appreciate y'all joining the channel, man. Keep going. I got another joke coming on later on this evening. Just remember, man, if you're not laughing, you're not living. And if you're not thinking outside the box, you're not thinking. Peace out, man. Much love.